Good evening, friends. It's time again for Bedtime Stories with the Principal. I'm so glad that so many of you got to watch my bedtime story last night about a story for Bear. Oh yes, that story was about you. And I heard lots of parents making comments that you enjoyed it. I'm so glad because I had a great time being with you too. And Estefania, you had some really cute PJs on in your picture. If you're listening tonight, have your mom or dad or somebody take a picture of you listening to the story and put that on the Facebook page. I would love to see all of you. Okay, so I have my snack here. I've got my cup of milk. Well, it's a glass of milk and an apple. And I have all of my friends back again from yesterday. All right, here we go. Today's story is, look at what happened to my book. Like seriously, the dog chewed it up. I know, but I can still read it. So here we go. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And it's by Judith Viorst and illustrated by Ray Cruz. And I'm being able to read this to you. Compliments of Aladdin paperbacks. Okay, so here we go. This is the title page. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst and illustrated by Ray Cruz, Aladdin paperbacks. Here we go. Next page. What's the next page going to be when I turn it? Do you know? It's the dedication page. And the dedication page on this book says, "For Robert Lesher with love and thanks." All right, here we go. Are you ready? Are y'all ready? Everybody got your listening ears on? Okay, here we go. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair when I got out of bed this morning. I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Have you ever had days like that? Okay, guys, turn and talk to each other about when you've had a very, very, very bad day. Just go ahead and talk about that right now. Because sometimes we have very bad days starting first thing in the morning, like with Alexander. Okay? Okay. Oh, I heard my friend here just say that he accidentally had to go on the floor because his owner slept too late and they would not let him outside to go outside to the bathroom. That was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, wasn't it? Okay, what else? Oh, here we have our Build-A-Bear friend. His last terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day was just the other day when his favorite team, the Texans, traded one of his favorite players away. That was a terrible, horrible, very bad day. That was not a great day at Miss Howard's house either. Okay, so here we go. Let's go on. So he just got up first thing in the morning. So here we have at breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell then that it was really going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. Wait, an invisible castle? Turn and talk to your friends about how can you have a picture to look at of an invisible castle. What's that, little bear? I agree. If it's an invisible castle, you can't see it. All right, let's see though what happens. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. Does Miss Edmund and Miss Edwin and Miss Pittman ever say you're singing too loud? No. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who even needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good. You knew what those next words were. All right, next page. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. Well, that wasn't very nice. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone that the ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. He's feeling pretty mean right now, isn't he? Because his day is going so badly. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, I feel so bad for him. That's exactly what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist. And Dr. Fields found a cavity only in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I am going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. He's so mean to me. And after Nick said that I was a crybaby, I was punching him for calling me a crybaby. My mom came back to the car, and I got in trouble for being muddy and for fighting. I said, I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And no one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. That's an old word for tennis shoes. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, sorry, we're all sold out. Then they made me buy just the plain white ones. But you know what? They can't make me wear them. My mom would be really mad though if she bought me something to wear and I didn't. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, you got it. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. And there was kissing on TV. I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain. Don't tell Mom. And I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow that he said I could keep. And the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony and not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says, some days are like that. in Australia. So that's our book today for bedtime stories. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Okay, guys, I miss you a lot. You're going to pretty soon start getting some work from your teachers, so get ready to see that. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Love you.